So, job market in China, it's pretty terrible. I've been looking for work here in Shenzhen for quite some time now, and it's not the easiest job market that you can find in the world. So I've been watching a lot of videos, like on YouTube, and I see all those Americans complaining about they can't get a job and whatever. Ramp that up to 200 to 300%, then you get China. So I don't know what those guys are complaining about, because it is pretty difficult to get a job here, and we have a bunch of things going on here in China. You get deflation, we have deflation, like foreign invested companies are moving out of China, and they're closing down a lot of offices and factories, and a lot of companies here are laying off its staff and cutting expenses. So it's like a much more major layoff number than the US. So yeah, let's talk about China. Let's talk about the job market in China in this video. So first off, youth unemployment rate. So youth unemployment rate. This has been a thing for the past, I believe, 3 to 4 years now. Ever since COVID started. It went on a record high back in 2023, whereas it was as high as, I believe, 20% to 30%. So it was like 1 in 5 people, 1 in 5 people is jobless, and they're unemployed, they can't get a job. So unemployment rate in China, it was highest in 2023, and then to 2024, it's still pretty high. It dropped a little bit, but still 2023, 2024, still terrible. Right now, as of 2025, it has been a little bit better, dropped down a little bit, but the youth unemployment rate is still just absolutely horrendous. So the highest point in 2024 is 20%, and it's still 1 in 5 unemployed. So it's extremely high, the unemployment rate, and many news outlets have talked about this. And one of my friend, one of my colleagues in a company I was working in, he was basically unemployed for 8 months. And for 8 months, then he got a job. And it is terrible. Let's look at some stats and numbers. This one is from the Trading Economics. So back in June 2023, it was as high as 21.3%. And although it has gone low for about a year, but in October 2024, it was still 17.1%. So basically, the unemployment rate hasn't really improved in the short run, I would say. Okay, so this report, which is from Reuters, new unproductive forces, the Chinese youth only their unemployment, which was from September the 2nd, 2024, and quote, it says, urban youth unemployment for roughly 100 million Chinese aged 16 to 24 spiked to 17.1% in July, a figure analysts say masks millions of rural unemployed. The government suspended releasing youth jobless data after it reached an all-time high of 21.3% in June 2023, for reasons that we all know, and later tweaking criteria to exclude current students. Okay, this another report, which is from BBC, it says China's overqualified youth taking jobs as drivers, laborers, and film extras. And it is a report just released recently on January the 4th, 2025. And it is true, it is true. A lot of the university graduates and a lot of people in China currently are doing jobs that are well below their education qualification. Some university graduates, they do what's the word, ride sharing service. They do the thing that's like Uber, but it's Didi in China. They do that, and they are basically full-time driver, that does Uber all day long, and yeah, they can basically do other things, we have ex-CEOs, ex-company owners, a lot of like previous really rich and professional people that are doing jobs that are basically um, very that they are doing jobs that are, how to describe it, yeah, they're doing jobs that are laborious. They're doing jobs that are laborious. So it is real, man. It is real. Which brings me to my second point, which is the corporate culture in China. Um, we know that like right now there are a lot of overqualified, right, quote unquote overqualified people that are doing jobs that are below their academic level, and they're doing like much more laborious jobs, and they're doing work that is apparently like overqualification for it. However, we have this thing going on right now, which is one person doing three people's jobs, and this thing is basically like, how to explain this. Um, the jobs here in China, they're not exactly so. So the job market in China, the line, the line is that like it's a it's a massive market, but the problem is it's a massive market, but the jobs, like most jobs are stupid jobs. Most jobs are stupid jobs. Most jobs are very low level jobs. Like I don't know if you can understand this. It's basically the essence or the content of the job is not very complicated. It's not very complicated. It's not complex. The complexity level of the job is low. So even though like you are a very highly educated individual, university graduate, master's degree, or even doctoral degree, it doesn't matter. Like the jobs that you get in the office, in the corporations here in China, they are really low level jobs. It's so basic, and it's not intricate. It's not complex. It's not complicated. A lot of jobs are these jobs, so they're very basic jobs, and this creates another problem. So when company hires you here in China, um, you're on a job, and the job content is basically a mash of three different jobs. You have basically, you need to multitasking for three specialties in China. Okay, so since most jobs here are really low complexity level, due to like this kind of nature, this is the reason why China has the limitation that when you're over 35, you're eliminated. When you're over 35, you are fired, and they want younger, more youthful labor, like fresh off the colleges and the universities. So this is the reason, like because like if you've seen videos from other channels, you know that like in China, when you're over 35 years old, there's a high likelihood that you will get fired, from your company, and this is the reason, because most jobs here are so laborious, and the essence and the content of the jobs is just dumb. It's dumb. It's low complexity. It's low complexity. So you're basically hiring people to do like screwing, like screwing a screw into a machine. Like you're basically asking them to do those really simple jobs. So when you ask people to do these simple jobs, when they're off to a certain age, they're not going to be as productive as their 20-ish counterparts. So companies here fire people when they're over 35, and Another thing, like the thing I talked about the one person doing three people's jobs, is that many companies here, like the medium or small, like these companies, when they're hiring people, they prefer to hire you and ask you to do basically three people's jobs. So the situation here is it's complicated. So you not only you have this 35-year-old elimination rule, you also need to do three people's jobs when you are on your job. So it's pretty taxing. It's pretty taxing. So on to the third point. The third point I want to talk about is the unrealistic expectations in the media in China. So right now, like in China, I believe that like from the media and from recruiters, from both of these sources, these people are basically, they're basically circulating a lie. A lot of videos, or even recruiters, recruiters in China, they talk about how easy it is to make money, and they're circulating lies. Basically, they will always talk about, well, you can make 800,000 CNY, like in a year as a food delivery driver.
3年只能赚102万。
家境不是很好，那你不得多干点，从天上掉馅饼，那哪有那么好事？
早上6点多，然后干到晚上12点多，3年的时间承诺不赢，也就说别人跟我打招呼，我很少去跟他们说话，就不愿意说话。我有时间交流，我早就已经说了。
Or you can, like make, I don't know, man, like 1 million, 2 million, 2 million CNY in a year, selling dumb shit, selling garbage or something. Like I've seen a lot of those videos, like from Chinese like social media like Douyin and and other short form video platforms, and they're constantly circulating this lie. And even from some recruiters that I met in the past, they talk about the kind of like the same kind of dumb shit as well. If you come here to work for me, you can have 15 times ROI, you can have 30 times ROI, which is complete bullshit. It's impossible and unrealistic. And they're constantly doing this kind of stunt, like it's like scamming people, basically. Like how is it even remotely possible that a food delivery driver is going to make 800,000 Chinese yuan in a year? It's impossible. It's impossible. And they are circulating this lie without any obstacles. They are constantly promoting this video on Douyin, and people believe it. Like not everybody, some people will believe it, and this paints a picture that if you come to China, or if you're in China, if you do jobs such as food delivery driver, or selling garbage, or being a farmer, like jobs are basically mostly laborers, mostly incomplex in nature. You can make a lot of money. You can make 800,000 Chinese yuan a year, or you can make millions, a year, which is apparently not true. It's not a fact. It is not true, and this is the problem. Like I don't really get why media here like to circulating lies. Why they tend to just scam people basically and tell them lies instead of truths, right? And it's problematic. It's problematic. Okay, so this is basically the job market for China in 2025, and last but not least, I don't think it's a good idea for the media and the recruiters in China to constantly circulate the lies anymore. They shouldn't tell people, or they shouldn't manipulate people into believing that doing these laborious and low complexity level jobs are going to net them millions of dollars or millions of yuan in this case. It's not true. It's a lie. And it's similar. Oh man, I don't know what to say. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I honestly think that these people are evil. They're evil for circulating lies, you know, in the market, and I don't know, man. Like it's not okay. It is not okay. Okay, so this is the video for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.